Welcome back to Legally Screwed. I'm your host, Attorney Jeff Kaufman. Sitting next to me is James John. Now, you've had to do a deep dive with as much crap as you've taken your whole life. When they go, you show up and they go, oh, we have James John. Oh, he's going to do real well in math, and then they see you. They're going, oh, no.
They always expect to see an Asian guy walk in.
Yeah.
They always. Even when I show up to do comedy shows and my face is on the poster, they still think,
oh, he's the opener.
Yeah, right? Yeah. Where's the Asian guy at?
Yeah.
It's me.
Opening a Buddhist temple, but not like the show.
No,
But I mean, you've had to like do a semi deep dive and go, Mom. Or maybe Mom goes, I don't care.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, the way it works in the South is you'll ask a lot of questions about family, and they'll be like,
No.
Nope. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. Jan is not my father's last name. My father's last name is Dawson. My mom was married to a gentleman. His last name was Jan, and we all took his last name.
Was this gentleman Asian?
No, he was not. He was not Asian at all. He was he was dark. He was black.
He was like Haitian black.
Yeah. He was. And his family, all in Tallahassee, none of them are Asian, and nobody will tell me where the last name originated from.
Well, they have some Asian buffets in Tallahassee.
They do. Still.
They do. They stick the, and I'm not telling you which ones, but here's a scam in the Asian buffets.
Talk about it.
Okay. Iced tea.
Yeah.
Baking powder.
Yep.
It bloats you.
Yep.
So you can't eat.
Correct.
Yeah. So don't stay away.
Not
from
every
the tea.
buffet does it, but
stay away from the tea at the buffet.
But I did find something interesting out about the last name. Some people have suggested it's actually a German descent name, Jan, not Asian like we all think.
I only see black Germans in like Doctor Who movies.
That's funny because you're right. I'm in Doctor Who movies.
I'm like, in England, everybody's black. You're okay. And I was in England. Not a lot of black people in England. But every English show has like
Sie sprechen die English.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's so weird hearing a German accent come out of a black guy.
That is weird. I'm not gonna lie to you. Yeah.
Trust me, if I hear a Jew with it, I'm like, dude, nope.
No,
nope.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. I'm not saying that. I can't even say this because it's so untrue. A lot of my friends, German friends, no, I don't have any.
You don't have one German friend?
I don't have a single German friend.
God, I do have German friends.
Well, of course.
Gotcha.
Because,
wait.
Because you weren't on the list.
Not that one.
No.
I was on a different list.
Those trains were awfully white.
Yeah, they were. They were.
That's always something I love when people go, and this is, in our country, we're real good about this one.
Yes.
When they talk about, 250 years, 300 years ago, it was 80.
Yeah.
80 years ago.
Yeah.
80.
Yeah.
And they go, why do Jews seem so bothered by it?
It was 80 years ago, man. Yes.
You guys are bitching about 250.
Yes.
80.
There
were movies.
There's people still walking around with numbers tattooed on their arms, man. Yes.
And we just kind of look over and going, okay.
Oh my gosh. Can I tell you the difference though? And this is not political. I'm not a political guy.
Okay, go ahead.
The difference in that is I have spoken with German people and working at Disney. And unlike what happened in our country, the German people, the sentiment that I get from them is never again. Never again when we go back to where we allowed something like that to happen. That's what I get from them. Maybe I'm wrong. Hit me with it. Okay. All right.
I'm going to do a little correlation.
Okay.
It's like every female white liberal who is horrified for the black man.
Yes.
I'm horrified.
Experts on racism. Yes, they are.
Yes, they are experts.
Yes, they are. Yes.
It's my job to defend them.
Yes.
And the minute something goes wrong, that N-bomb flies. You know it. The minute something goes wrong, that N-bomb comes out. And you're like, wait, I thought we were together.
Yeah.
Oh, you.
They're the first ones to be like, I want to speak to a manager.
Yes.
Yeah, this gentleman over there.
This one over here.
The one that looks like he might have voted for Obama.
Can I spell it? Can I spell it?
Yeah.
I don't want to say it.
Can I spell it?
I can't. I'll spell it.
Hard.
Like black guy with an arrow.
Hard. Oh my God. This is the episode.
This is the one.
This is the one.
I'm just saying that some of the most liberal people, and then they go, I can say it. I understand. No, no, you can't.
My favorite question, and Miguel, God bless him, he said this back to a guy who we had on the radio one time. He goes, you give me one good reason as a white guy why I can't say the N-word. And Miguel goes, I don't know, history?
Yeah.
How about
can't
that?
do it. Can't do it. And
Man.
I laugh about it because it seems like one of those things that I believe we'll still be having this conversation 100 years from now.
Yes, we will be.
100 years
Because there's going to be some person that's going to want to know why I can't do it too. Why?
It seems, and I think I know why.
Why?
This is bad.
Welcome to the last episode of The Ropes.
This might be the last one.
Yeah.
Okay. When black people drop the N-bomb, it's funny.
Okay. Just you saying that made me laugh.
It's funny.
Funny. Okay. All right.
I have seen every great black comedian drop the N-bomb.
Yes.
And it hurt me. It was so funny.
Yes.
And I think we're going, well,
He looks fun when he does it.
funny. He seems like he's having a good time. And I think we feel like we're missing out. And then we're like, no, look at them. They call each other it. It's like bro. I give you bro, N, bro. And I want to be bros with somebody.
That is the funniest thing I ever heard. That's the funniest explanation.
I think we feel we're missing out
on why white people want to say the N-word. It's not because they got hate in their heart. We want to have as much fun as you guys.
You guys are having a good damn time. I don't have a relationship like that. I don't look over and go, hey, Jew bag. I can't do that.
It's not as fun.
It's not as fun. When two Jews meet each other, it's not like, hey, what up, l'chaim? No, we can't do that.
No, I will tell you, when we do say it,
we want to say the most offensive thing anybody's ever called us and say it to you, but it's loving.
Is that what it is?
Think of this. It is the most hateful word, or also the most loving.
Hateful. Yes.
It's the perfect word.
It can mean so many things.
It's like the F-bomb, but better.
Yes. Jeff, that was great. Thank you, sir, for that. I needed that in my
I
soul.
have clarified it. I have explained it to the country now.
You have.
And hopefully will now grow.
Yeah. Do you hear me now?
All right, give me the legal questions while I can still answer. Legal questions.
Welcome to Racially Screwed.
Racially screwed. Yes. Politically screwed.
Here we go. Now, over Memorial Day weekend, we found hidden cameras pointed at the toilet and shower in our family bathroom. Now, footage showed a close relative had set them up. He fled to Oklahoma, and we fear he's recorded children before. He currently has custody of 4 minors. Is this video evidence enough to support a conviction? What do we do? This is crazy. This is crazy.
We are convicting him for what now?
He was spying on people where they should have privacy.
Okay, adults or children?
Does that matter?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah.
Well,
it's a huge issue.
Okay, let's say
guess what? Watch this. If it's a child,
it's a different.
It's child porn.
Oh, I didn't even think about it in that way.
Yeah.
Got it.
Yeah, one is voyeurism. One is, depending on the state, they have illegal recording. Certain states have certain things.
Okay.
Now, here's the worst. Did he upload it? And if you upload it,
and that's different as well.
It's now federal.
Ooh.
You cross state lines.
And you become, is that considered trafficking?
You could be sharing children porn, and you don't have to have sex to be child porn. You just have to show goods.
It's just images and different things.
Yeah, sexual organs, things like that.
Gotcha. And if he uploads it and it's available in other states, that could be.
Now, if you have evidence of him doing it, you'll notify your local people.
Okay.
And if there are kids on there, you look in Oklahoma, you notify their Department of Children and Families or their equivalent, and they could pull his kids. They could arrest him criminally. There are so many different things that can happen to this person. And obviously this person is so broken.
Something's not right.
No, you don't. Voyeurism and taking pictures like upskirting and things like that are horrific.
Yes.
And they're gateways
to other things that are dark and you shouldn't be doing.
It's like when a kid kills an animal and you go, this kid's going to be bad.
Something's not right.
Somebody who sets up a camera, that's some deviant stuff.
That is.
That
now, let's just take it step by step. Let's say I just set it up family bathroom, no kids, but an adult, that's
It depends on state law.
Got it.
But some are felonies and some are misdemeanors.
okay. I figured
It's a crime.
It's a crime.
It's a
Yes.
crime. It's also a civil crime. You could be sued for it. Not a civil crime, but it's a civil matter where you could be sued for it.
Got you.
So somebody could sue for invasion of privacy or something like that.
Yeah.
And that if they put pictures of you, like, for example, the Hulk Hogan case.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Where
yeah.
his buddy.
Yeah, his buddy.
Put images of him that he never authorized. And the website, Gawker, wouldn't take it down.
And they
were getting too many likes.
too many hits.
Too many hits, too many likes.
Mhm.
And, I mean, you have to be an absolute
Horrible human being.
horrible human being to do something like that.
Yes.
Now, I'm not talking the Terry thing case because him and his wife were into that stuff.
They were, open.
And I'm saying it's still terrible that you're recording
that
somebody
your
having sex.
friend would do this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But maybe, how about we don't have sex with each other's wives?
That's a good rule.
That's probably one to grow on.
You know what I mean?
I mean, if you're part of the swinger community, maybe if you got the pineapples flipping, but
loofah, yeah.
I've been over a friend's house many times, and I never had him go, hey, while we're waiting for popcorn, would you like to have sex with my wife? No.
Well, thank you, Jeff.
Well, that was,
Hey,
what? I'll stay with the dip.
Gotcha.
The hummus is fine.
Gotcha.
No,
Hummus or sex with my wife?
the hummus is good though.
Hummus is great.
The Triscuits, I'm good with that. But I don't.
Yeah. I don't. Okay. I've been taught this. You don't yuck someone else's yum. Swinging's not my thing. Like, I've no interest in any of that, man.
I have a rule.
What's
and
the rule?
it's worked for me for my whole life.
Got it.
Once you're dating somebody or married somebody,
Yes.
you don't exist to me.
Yes.
As the other sex.
Correct.
Your friend, everything else.
I
don't
think
care.
we have the
I
same
don't care
rule.
how good looking you are. I don't
care.
care. I don't care who you're dating. You go, I'm dating this hot model. I don't care.
Don't care.
You don't exist.
No, not at all.
She doesn't exist because that's a respect thing for me.
Me too.
And not exist as a person, but exist as the opposite sex.
I'm not looking at you,
You
that
know,
way at all. That's correct.
hey, bro,
That's it.
I mean,
I'm dapping you up.
You'll get the half bro hug from me,
Mhm.
just like he does.
Mhm.
But no, I think it's disrespectful. I think it's rude. And I know that other people, well, Jeff, you're just not open. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Zoo's closed, Ray. I get it. I'm not open.
Gotcha.
I'm like Chick-fil-A on a Sunday. I ain't open. I ain't open.
I ain't open.
But when it comes to doing what this dude did with the video camera,
yeah.
no, this guy should be making big rocks into little rocks, and he clearly needs
Help. He needs help.
But here's the problem. Some of this stuff you can't fix through therapy.
You think?
There is something that is so part of you that it's almost impossible to get it out of you. It's what you like. It's your thing. It's what works for you.
That's
and
scary.
And you're going to try to get therapy to convince you
Not.
that this doesn't work.
Oh, that's
Guess
scary. Yeah.
It'd be like, it's the same thing. Guess what? You don't like steak anymore.
Wow.
Well, I like steak. No, well, steak's bad
No,
for you.
it's bad.
I know. Well, we're going to show you these videos of cows getting slaughtered. It works for some people.
That's true. That is true.
We all know that red meat,
not the best
ain't
thing
great
for
for
you.
you.
Yeah. No,
Still gonna
not
eat
at
it.
all.
know, and what if they passed a law and said you can't eat red meat anymore?
Wow.
People would still figure out a way to do it.
They sure would.
And even though it's a crime and everything else,
They still do
some
it.
people want it that bad. It was
Mhm.
like liquor, prohibition. It's against the law. How many people did it? And to somebody who has this issue,
Mm-hmm.
they don't think it's wrong.
No.
They think this occurs in nature and this is who we are.
Mhm.
Now, some people were taught and some people it's just inside them. So I don't know if therapy works in a situation like that. And I think with somebody like that who's taking pictures and everything else and he's got kids, and remember, he stuck these cameras for his own family members.
Correct. That's
so why wouldn't
weird.
he?
Yeah.
And if there are kids involved, he doesn't care that they're family.
He doesn't care.
So yeah, you got to pull this guy out of society. And
Agreed.
if he ever, you can't lock up somebody forever, but this is dangerous.
Yeah, absolutely.
And as somebody who did criminal defense for a long time, stuff like this, nope.
Agreed.
Nope. Two attorneys arguing. You do not look like Craig Lind.
I'm not.
This is the assistant to the assistant of the director of marketing. Morgan, what you don't know about law would fill the Grand Canyon, wouldn't it?
Yes, and then some.
You do not have the superior skills that Craig Lind has to analyze very difficult legal functions.
No.
But you have questions.
I do.
You brought them with you.
I did.
I have a feeling that there was some chat GPT involved in these questions, but I will answer them anyway. And I'll answer them off the cuff, just like we were at a party and you looked over at me and goes, "Hey, Jeff, you're a lawyer, right?"
What is the easiest way to get out of jury duty?
Everyone's a little bit racist. No, no, it's a good question. First off, for legal purposes, jury duty is a responsibility. You have to show up. It is a duty. It's part of our system, and it's absolutely something you should do. I can tell you the reason why I have booted people off my jury. Racism is always a good thing. Racism always works. Some guy goes, I don't know those people. Okay, he's got to go. And judges will normally kick you off if your biases are too great. For example, if you get up, it's a criminal case, and you said, "I hate cops." Okay. Now, they can try to fix you. And I've had judges try to fix jurors in the past. Depending on what part of the country you're on, judges will try even harder. Because I actually had somebody on a jury of mine who was in the same, their kids were in Little League together of the opposing counsel. "Oh, yeah, we go over their house all the time." Your Honor, they're friends. Well, can you be unbiased? It's not about can you be unbiased. There's a direct bias built in that you can't overcome. But depending on what city or judge you're in front of, it can be overcome. So normally, if your prejudices are so outweigh your ability to be unbiased, you don't have to be on that jury.
What do you do if you get pulled over?
Pulled over?
Mm-hmm.
You shut up. That's what you do. You don't give the cop any lip, or the police officer, the detective, whoever's pulling you over. We see a lot of videos now where they're holding these little pamphlets up to the window, where everyone's been taught how to handle things. It's real show dignity, show respect. How can I help you, officer? License and registration. Here's my license and registration. You provide them. People are going to ask questions. Well, what about if they ask you questions you don't want to answer? Well, the more respectful you are to the police officer, the less likely things will go wrong. Now, you could be right later on. For example, let's say the officer did not have probable cause to search the car just because you told the officer, "I don't like pigs," or something like that. My advice is don't do that. I get pulled over. I've never said to the officer, "I'm a lawyer, I know my rights." I said, "Officer, how can I help you?"
What are some of the biggest causes of car accidents?
About 20 years ago, I would have told you it was speeding. I would have said majority of it is people running late. They have to get somewhere too quickly. They're just flying down the road. They don't care. It's now non-attention. It's the cell phones. The cell phones cause more accidents than anything else because what happens is now we're in the car and we need to occupy our minds more than just being on the road. That's why, for example, I ride a motorcycle. I can't hold my phone in my hand, so I'm fully aware of what everybody's doing. And since I started riding about 10 years ago, I am fully aware of everyone on the road and what they're not doing. And what they're not doing is driving. They're behind the wheel, but they're not driving. They're doing anything but what they're supposed to be doing. When you're in the car and there's nothing else going on, you can see everything. When you're on a motorcycle and you have nothing going on, you can see everything. When you're sitting there with your phone wondering, oh, I got a text. Oh, I got an email. What's going on with my Facebook has probably killed more people than cancer in this country nowadays.
Should I record the police at a traffic stop, and does it help my case?
Big thing. Do not hold that camera up when that officer comes to your window. First off, he doesn't know it's a phone to begin with. And if you have something up in your hand, these guys, it's about their safety first. So God forbid they think it's a gun or something else like that. You might get shot. Second issue is, why aggravate a police officer? You're holding the phone up like some idiot. And I have never seen anybody holding the phone up like this who doesn't look like an absolute a-hole. You basically, if you're holding your phone up, you look like an a-hole. You look like you're trying to cause a problem. Okay? Now, a lot of phones are mounted. The first thing I might do is I might click audio, or I might have it on me, and it'll pick up the audio from the officer. If the officer asks you, he goes, "Is that recording?" You go, "It's always recording." Yes. And if he goes, "Turn it off," No, I've been advised for legal base that I have to keep it on. Trust me, that officer will not like it, but he also most likely will not go nuts because it's not on him. Now, if he says you don't have a right to have it on, this officer is already doing bad stuff. So yes, keep it on. Do not point it towards the officer. Do not do anything to aggravate the officer. But yes, have it on. And yes, you could use it later.
Are police officers allowed to lie?
I hate that question because I know the result of it. We should not rely on police officers to deceive us into admitting crimes. And that's why it's allowed. Because the court systems, our government, the U.S. Constitution, the Supreme Court, everyone has agreed that police officers are allowed to lie to you because it's for the greater good of somebody admitting to a crime later on or admitting to a crime they committed. No, it's absolutely wrong. The fact is, this is the worst part of our legal system because it makes people not trust the police. It also makes police officers less trustworthy. Why? If there's a part of my life where somebody says, hey, Jeff, we expect you to lie here. We expect you to do these things, and it's absolutely fine because it's for the greater good. Anytime we put a basic principle to the side over the greater good, we're creating bad things. So an officer is allowed to lie to a suspect to get them to admit something. And then they say to themselves on the stand, well, I know the guy did it, so I'm going to lie on the stand too because it's for the greater good. Once you get comfortable lying, you get comfortable lying everywhere. And our legal system, law enforcement, state attorneys, these are people who should not be comfortable lying because it gets worse over time. So yes, police officers are allowed to lie to you, but they really shouldn't because it affects everything they do. And it affects their personal lives too. You ask an officer whose job it is to lie to people, they'll say to you, well, it started to filter into my other life too. Because once it's okay to lie to one person, it becomes okay to lie to everybody.
Should people testify in their own defense?
Yes and no. I know that sounds wishy-washy. The fact is this, if you are such a bad guy that all your past is going to come up and make them not forgive anything you did, even if you were innocent in this case, don't testify. Let's say they put no case forward against you, don't testify. But here's the thing. I've been on a jury. I've tried way too many cases. Juries want to hear from you. They want to hear you say the words, especially in a criminal case. I didn't do it. I didn't commit this crime. Because if they don't, then they're thinking to themselves, oh, he has something to hide. Even though they've been instructed not to hold it against it, they will. They'll hold it against them every time. And yes, they might find you not guilty because the evidence wasn't great. But they really want to hear these words. I didn't do it. Now, Morgan, attorneys like me who get the opportunity to talk to people a lot, sometimes we forget it's not about us. We think, oh, we know everything. We have the experience. We've done this for so long that there's nothing we can learn. But the fact is this, I didn't grow up the way you did. I didn't have cell phones when I was a kid. If I needed to find somebody, I had to drive around, literally drive around. At night, where are my friends? I don't know. Let me drive around. I mean, and we didn't have maps on our phones. So we guessed where people might be, we had to remember how we got to all those different locations. And we'd have to get out of the car, walk into the place, realize they weren't there, get back into the car, and drive. Now, the worst part about it is sometimes they were driving the same place. They just get there before us. Now, knowing that, you grew up in a world where billboards were always there. Since day one, you've looked up and seen these Morgan billboards or Dan Newland or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What was your feeling about attorneys since day one? Did you have a good or bad feeling?
Oversaturated. I
Too
think
much.
it was just something that I saw all the time that I stopped acknowledging because it was so constant.
This is your first job out of college. You see the ad for marketing assistant or something. I don't even remember the ad.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's for a law firm. You come in here and you're going, you tell your parents, I'm looking, I'm going to apply at this law firm.
Yep.
You come in here to this zoo and where you're like, this is not what I expected.
definitely. Well, I was expecting suits and high heels and nobody talks to each other. So I was definitely caught off guard.
What was the biggest surprise about the practice of law that you didn't know before?
I was surprised by how much paperwork there is. I was expecting to see everybody going to court every day. And that has not happened as often as I was thinking from my TV shows.
See, that's what it is. It's TV. TV, they never show anybody doing anything.
No.
They're just standing in court. Oh, no. Everyone, I caught him. I did this. They never show the work.
Nope.
Nobody ever goes, God, it took me like 3 months to write this motion. And then we had to file it. And then the judge's office. And they don't realize it's not sexy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not cool. A lot of documents are being sent.
Yes.
And if you don't send the right document, you get in trouble for it.
Mm.
Stupid. That's what law school is. A couple weeks ago, I brought up the term of white knighting. And I used you an example of that. I said we were doing an event for special needs, and there was a young man who was on the spectrum, and he didn't understand boundaries. And he was floating over to you every 10 seconds. And I watched this happen for about 20 minutes. And you had the camera running and you're walking around, and I wasn't quite sure what I should do at the time. How can somebody who was raised like I was to try to step in, try to be helpful? Is there a situation where that's okay? I mean, I don't have a clue how to handle something like that. And I was just raised differently.
I think for me, my preference in any kind of situation like that is just communication. So if you're coming up to me and you can just state what you're noticing, hey, how are you? Are you good? And if I say, yeah, I'm good, then let that be that. And if it's kind of like, oh, I don't know, I might need a little bit of help, just ease into it and kind of diffuse instead of coming in too hot where then it turns into a whole situation of yelling and aggression.
Stay away from her.
Exactly. Then it's like, well, now I feel like it's worse than it needed to be. But I think everybody has their own preference in how they like those situations to be handled. So it's hard to say.
Well, I miss Craig, but patient zero is at home, being the super spreader in his own house.
People don't realize how hard comedy is. You have this routine, you have these punchlines, you're doing everything you're supposed to be doing. And I can't imagine in the middle of the set, you go, okay, is the stuttering going to get worse right now? Is this a good day or is this a bad day? I mean, do you wake up that morning going, okay, I got my crap together?
Yeah, it does kind of feel like you're always waiting for the other shoe to drop, especially when you've had it plague you. And I don't like the word plague, that sounds dramatic, but you've had it kind of, it's almost always on its terms, not always on yours. Sometimes I'll wake up and it's just, I immediately like my wife will know. She'll be like, it's just not a good day, and I'll be typing to her. Like I'll pull up a Word document and I'll be typing, you know what I mean? And like we'll be in an argument and I'm like, I have to go type my responses, you know what I mean? I'm like, and I'm like, and I'll show her the laptop and I'm like, that's how I feel. That's how I feel. So it's like, these things that, it's a great lesson in relinquishing control, especially because the less I've cared about it, the better it's gotten. So it's just a little bit, finger trap, kind of like, oh man, the more I try to control this thing, the tighter and more rigid and more difficult it can be.
I think about that, and I've read some of your interviews, and you're saying, you call it my stuttering is acting like an a-hole today. And, I understand what that's like to suddenly feel, wait a second, can I do my craft anymore? You're 20 years old, your acting career is just taking off. You get hit with a weird softball accident, which sounds like a bad joke when you write it. You're like, a softball almost ended my career.
Yeah.
And what do you do at that time? You go, I got to rise. I got a life to live here.
Yeah, I mean, I've said this before, but I kind of liked that it was so definitive. Like it was just so this is not happening. Like when that happened to me, I got dropped by my agent, my manager, who were representing me for acting projects, and I had a lot of appointments that week. Projects that I was on hold for, scheduled to go shoot for, that I couldn't do because of this injury. So when this happened, it really became so clear that option was no longer an option. So I had a lot of comic friends I had a lot of friends who, like they were comics, and comics get like they gravitate towards little subjects of like pain or like adversity or complaint or frustration or trauma or whatever. Like these are all ripe with opportunity for being able to talk about it. So I got encouraged by a lot of comics who were like, you have to go on stage and talk about this thing, talk about this injury, talk about what it's like. And the first time that I went on stage, it wasn't good, but I felt like compassion again from other people. I felt understood, and in that way, it was very rewarding. So I wanted to just pursue, change my life after that.
Now, I didn't know how to bring this up because when I saw that your agent and your management team had dropped you, I'm sitting here going, when they say success is the best, form of revenge, I mean, your career suddenly takes off again. Do these people come back to you and say, hey, man, we're really interested, or you already go, you're out of your mind?
I hadn't heard from them. Like maybe it's just like maybe they're like we made the right call. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I still hadn't heard. I hadn't like. It's so funny because when you can't say what you want to say all the time, you start to just build a lot of the narrative in your head. And there's a place where you create a list, you have resentment, you have all this stuff that just happens because you're not be able to communicate it. You're not able to say what it is you want to say. So I have to really keep myself accountable in making sure that I'm not as angry as I once was, because I really felt I felt hurt by what it was that happened. I felt you feel alone. You feel like no one has your back and no one believes in you. And I know that there's a lot of people who feel that way regardless of an injury changing their life, right? So I'm it it's all a blessing, and I don't have any ill will towards anybody, but there was definitely a time where I was just so angry, and it was just a huge motivator to be like, I'm going to show them, I'm going to show this person, I'm going to show this person. And not healthy, but it yields results.
Believe it or not, from what I hear, even from the best athletes in the world, like Michael Jordan had to hate the player he was going up against to be great. And I mean, these bad moments happen to you, but I mean, imagine, let's take this out of it. Take the whole softball out of it. Let's say nothing happened. I mean, could you imagine a career that might have been different where you're going, wait a minute, it didn't work out. And because I had to go through this adversity, I pushed harder. I did all these things. I mean, you take that one thing out and imagine what life would have been.
I know. And I do consider myself to be exactly like Michael Jordan. We're almost identical pound for pound. And people say that too, literally, like when they review my show, people are like, he's the Michael Jordan of comedy. And I like, yeah, it is wild. I mean, it's wild how, I mean, I had always been like a driven person. I had always been somebody who was very self-motivated, but when this thing happened, it just became clear. Like, I love when when things don't work out. I know that sounds weird, but it's like you almost get addicted to like rejection, or you just get addicted to something like going against you because it just creates this whole other gear that you have that you're not aware that you have. That's what's crazy. It's like you're not even human. You're like, all right, I'll just be up for a full day and I'll just write. I'll lock myself in a room and I'll just write, or I'll go and I'll perform wherever. I'll put some chairs outside and see who walks by. I'll have them sit down and I'll perform in front of them. I'll do it in a park. I'll do it at a Korean barbecue. I'll do it at I'll do it at a laundromat. I'll do it in a living room. I'll do it like a nursing home. I've done all these shows, it's because the point of you're at a point of no return, so you can't go back to where you were, and you just use it. So very, very unhealthy stuff. Like I said, very unhealthy, but it just creates this whole other thing of what you didn't know was possible.
Well, stand-up isn't a healthy thing to begin with. I mean, I can't tell you how many you talk to another stand-up when you're in the back of the room watching somebody else bomb, and you can't wait till afterwards to light them up, because we're just a different breed. We like screwing with each other.
I
And
know. I don't have it. I don't have that. If a friend of mine bombs, I can't. I almost like I send them flowers the next day. I'm like, I can't be that guy. Some comics are that way. Most of us are that way. Where it's like, if I bomb, like someone will come up and be like, oh, or whatever. Or like, that's that thing where it's just like you get to commiserate a little bit together, and in that way there's community, but it also still has such a bite. Like, it's so much of a bite because you are the thing that sucked. It's all you.
Yeah.
It wasn't like I showed you a thing I made and you're like, oh, that's not very good, and you're like, okay, well, at least I know I'm okay. No, it was you thought some things and you went and you said them and people hated it, and so you're like, oh, you hate me. So that is like, it's just so there's not even a thin layer between you and your worth that you really have to, make sure you have a good handle on when you're doing this.
Now, what's interesting is people don't understand this. Most of the time, we just hang out with each other. Comedians love to hang out with each other. So when you're touring, like you have a big tour coming up, and you want to actually work with people you like, the ones you want to hang out in the green with, one you want to have a drink with later, eat with later. I mean, I'm sure you have favorite comedians you like to travel with.
Yeah, I do. I have lots of friends where, like, I have so many people who like I am fans of, and they're my friends, and I want to be able to give different opportunities to different people. And my wife was actually somebody who was very like, she was like, I think what you do is really cool in that you give like female comics opportunities, or comics who haven't had many opportunities. I want to be able to create somewhat of a platform for people I find to be really funny. And if you're there, like, at a gig that doesn't go well, you want to be able to look over to a friend or somebody and be like, did you see that? Or was that crazy? Am I crazy? So it's really special for that.
The hard part in comedy, a lot of people don't realize the heckling isn't really part of the show. And I think with the internet and with when everyone goes, oh, this is what I'm supposed to do there. And as a host, or even if I'm headlining, it's like you got to tell people, hey, guys, I got a show to do. If you got something to say, be quick about it. How do you combat that when you're going, okay, this is enough, guys? Let me try to move forward.
It's almost like I would prefer the heckling I used to get before I was known, because when you get heckled or interrupted from a place of malice or a place of whatever, something that's not positive, you're able to address it in a way that that feels fair. So if somebody says something, you can address it, and you can address it in a way that's like, okay, you and I are adversaries at this time. You've made your case for the fact that you and I are not on the same team. So that becomes easier because if you're a comic, you should or could have any response in a way that would be justified, and you would have the audience's probably support, and you have a motive as well. You have a motive to be able to do it. Now it's hard because people will heckle me because they're just being supportive. You know what I mean? They'll be like people be interrupting, and they might not even be aware that they're hurting the flow or the rhythm or the experience of other people in the show. So, like if I'm telling a thing or whatever, and they're like, yeah, and your dog, I love your dog, like you know what I mean? Oh, your wife, she's the best. I met her one time, and like, they'll go for like a long time, I met her, and she came over, I made her dumplings, and she ate them right there in front of me, and it was amazing. And I remember my niece was there. It was my whole family, and we traveled. And you're like, and I have cats as well. I have cats, and you're like, lady, I love you, but I can't. What do you want me to do? You know what I mean? Like these are polite heckles, so I can't be like, you shut up, lady, shut up, and you drown your cats. Like, what am I supposed to say? She's just a sweet lady who's just enthusiastic about the fact that she's here to see somebody she likes.
Yeah, it's interesting thing, Now, here's a topic I want to talk about. I lost about 40 pounds, and I had a lot of jokes that were based on my weight. I mean, a lot of great jokes that people just, and now they're not funny because they look at me. They're going, well, you're not as big as you used to be. You're a normal sized person. When you're stuttering is more in control. I mean, do you think people are looking for, oh, he's not stuttering as much as usual, or something like that? Do you feel like it affects your routine at all?
Yeah, I was actually going to ask you. I think we should switch. I think you stutter and I just gain a bunch of weight, and let's just try it out. You know what I mean? Test drive each other's thing. Yeah, it's tough, but I decided a long time ago that I didn't want this injury, the way I talked, to be the thing that dictated how people perceived me, or what I don't want it to be a crutch. I don't want it to be a reason that I don't want it to be disputed that I just have a career because of that. You've seen it. I've seen it. There are comics out there who maybe have the position that they are in, the position they are in, because of a certain thing that they do or have or whatever. And good on them. But at the same time, I saw that, and I also I suffered on the personal side of things for a very long time because of the way that I could not speak and how much it grated on me and my mental health, and just feeling sometimes lost. So I decided just a long time ago that I didn't want that to be me. I'm a person of like, I have depth. I have layers to me. I'm not somebody who I don't want to just be dismissed as, oh, well, he's just the stuttering guy, or he just does this. And I heard that for so many years. Oh, you're that stuttering. You do the stutter, and it's like, I'm a person. I'm a human person. I'm not like a sideshow. I'm not a thing. I get it. Branding, marketing, all that is fantastic. But if I have to sacrifice that and take the risk of what people put me in a box as, at the expense of feeling limited, I'm not gonna do that. So I decided that I was like, I had been working at my speech for years, and I just was like, one day I want people to just know me for me and only care about the human being, not me as just like a product or a toy that just does one thing.
I got to tell you, Drew, that is so important to so many people out there, what you just said. I love everything about it, and I look forward to seeing you on your road someday. Good luck with everything, and have a great time on the tour.
Thanks, Jeff. I appreciate it, buddy.
Well, that wraps up today's show. I'm attorney Jeff Kaufman. Thanks for joining us. Special thanks to my two co-hosts, my good friend, professional comedian James John, and my law partner, Craig Lind. This show is sponsored by Kaufman Lind. If you or someone you know has been in an accident, contact us at 407-500-JEFF or 407-500-5333 for a free consultation, or visit us at whenyouneedus.com.